Hello everybody, how's it going tonight? Hope you having a good night tonight. I'll be right back. Hang on. Everybody, I know it's a late night tonight, but I was going on because I was doing a few reviews tonight. And thought I would go on for a little while tonight, see how you two all are doing. So I don't know, guys. How's it going tonight? Hope everybody had a good weekend. I know tomorrow's, well, today is a holiday for some people, and who knows? Some people like to stay up late. Some people have other things to do. I know a lot of people probably do have to go to work because it's technically not really a holiday. It's like, you know, mail and government and all that stuff, but other places are open on Martin Luther King Day, and I just want to, you know, say I think it's not fair that it's not really recognized as much as it should be, but you know, that's kind of the thing. But anyways, hope everybody's going to have a good weekend. Had a good weekend. We're going to have a good start of the week, and if you don't have to work, you're probably already asleep in bed. Gotta sleep in tomorrow. But anyways, I'm going on for just a little while. Seeing how everybody's doing, what's going on, what's popping. I don't know. And I got some Flamin' Hot Cheetos Puffs. I got a drink tonight. We will see. I had some dinner earlier. I made the mistake of, I finished off one of my jars of Carolina Reaper salsa, and I had it with some chips, and I put the last of the jar in there and I cut it with some other regular salsa, and it was still super hot. I was almost dying at the end and had to like stop. This stuff's pretty dang hot. Even if you'd cut it with regular salsa, or if you put a sour cream or something in there. So the Carolina Reaper stuff, I take it serious. But I'm having Flamin' Hot Cheetos Puffs tonight. Those have got to be my favorite of all. And I also have my Luigi hat too. So now I got Mario and Luigi. If you guys are a fan of Super Mario Brothers or Donkey Kong, or I don't know when Luigi came in. I think Mario Brothers was when Luigi came into the picture. I think it was just Mario was in Donkey Kong. And then Super Mario Brothers, they brought in Luigi and all the other people. Then all the other characters kind of came along. So, now if you guys were a fan of the video games back from the 80s, I was a pretty big fan, because that was when I was growing up in high school. And I remember playing the arcade games, playing the, God, I had a Atari. What else did I have? I had Atari. I had the original Pong game when that first came out. I had the Atari 2600. I didn't have any of the other ones like Nintendo or I had the original Xbox, but yeah. Hey, Shawnee, how's it going? I had the original Xbox, but I didn't have the other ones. So, but you missed it earlier. I was telling the story about I finished off the last half of my Reaper salsa for before dinner, and I like just had like, you know, a little bit in the bottom of the jar, and that stuff was hot, man, by itself. I was like dying right before I ate dinner, and it was like, ah, it's hot. I even cut it with regular salsa, so yeah, you got to be careful, man. I would say have have some sour cream, have some milk, have something standing by. That stuff is hot. Even if you cut it with, you know, regular salsa, kind of thin it out. That stuff's super hot. I did it too, but the thing was, I put it in a little jar, and I put a little bit of the medium, and I mixed it up. It's still dang hot. And I used the Tostitos scoops. And get a good piece of that salsa, and you scoop it up, and boy, whew. And I still have my ghost pepper salsa too, the ghost pepper nachos, so that's pretty hot. So just be careful. Yeah, I mean, just go with the regular stuff. You got to prepare yourself for the hot. And I got a drink, but I'm not in love with this drink. I tried it. Eh. I won't get that one again. Not very good. Highball, black cherry. Doesn't have much flavor, no energy. Not very good. I got it for 99 cents at the grocery outlet. So yeah, it's not my favorite. They had other flavors, and I'm not even going to try the other flavors. No. Yeah, they have all kinds of weird ones. They have one I saw was Go Girl. One I saw was yeah. Hey, Exploring Ginger. Yes, it's a me and Mario tonight. And I have another idea. After I finish this, I got a little bit different idea for something. So here we go. But I'm having the chips. And something for a little bit later. I was able to find this at Walmart. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this. Maybe some of you guys are a little bit, you know, too young for this. I got some of this. Munch. They used to have Munch bars. I was able to find that. It's like peanut brittle. So, yeah. Yeah, that's and I don't know about some of the other ones. They might have some of the other ones, like I haven't tried like the pineapple one, and they have one of them was craft beer. One of them was black bean. One of them was raspberry one, and yeah, even the nacho dip was kind of watery. So I don't know. They weren't bad. I actually went to the store I got from the generic one. It was they had two versions. It was like hot, mild, and one was chunky version. So they do have some that, yeah, are a little bit chunkier. Or if you really want to. No, I haven't. I haven't really done it. I was trying it with that the other day. I was dipping it with the flamin' hot lyman, and that was pretty hot together. The flamin' hot lyman Doritos, they were pretty hot with that the ghost pepper salsa. So I don't know. But I've still got a lot left in the refrigerator. Yeah, I actually was in the store. I think it was a grocery store. I saw a small bag of it as well. They're not as hot as regular flamin' hot. That lyman kind of cuts the taste a little bit. So they're a little more tolerable. Kind of like the lyman Cheetos. I've seen those. They got the Cheetos crunchy lyman. I think it's flamin' hot with lyman. Then they got the jalapeno cheddar and the couple other ones. So yeah, you can find them all out there. One of these days, I am gonna try like a hot sauce, like a Dave's Insanity or one of those kind of super hot sauces. I know there's really, really, really hot ones out there that like are millions of Scoville units, and I don't know if I want to go that high. There was actually a place I used to go to, and it was called I believe it's called Garlic World, and they had, you know, all different garlic, and then they had hot sauces on the shelf, and it was like down at the low was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and above was up at the top. Wow. So they had stuff many years ago that I had different hot sauces, and it was funny because you could try them at the store, but you'd go in there and like they would have a hot sauce for you to try and have like little pretzels to dip in it, and you dip the pretzels in it, but they had no water, they had no milk, they had none of that. So you'd try the hot sauce, and if it was too hot, your mouth would be burning. There was like nothing to drink there. So it was kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. They had it to sample, but and then sometimes they would take like a toothpick and put one drop on a pretzel or a chip or something, and you put that on your tongue, and boy, whoo, watch out. Well, either that or they'd run out of the store, and then they'd like run next door and looking for water or looking for soda or looking for milk or something. I think there was like I think there was a restaurant or something next to it. What they would be smart to do was have an ice cream shop next to the hot sauce store. They make big bucks. And I actually, oh, making me sweat a little bit. And that's what was happening earlier after I ate that hot sauce, and I had to just have like, I had to have just like chips on their own and a little bit of, I had some M&Ms or something to kind of cut that heat. That helped a little. Mm-hmm. So how's your guys' weekend been going so far? I know a lot of people are, some people are off, some people aren't. I remember Martin Luther King Day is kind of different. I mean, it's the government and the, you know, schools and the post office and all that have it off, but not everybody else does. A lot of places don't even recognize it. Hey, Tiffy Bell, how's it going? So yeah, I mean, yeah, but you know, it is what it is. I remember I lived in Arizona, and they didn't have it over there. I'm not sure if they do or not now. I think there's still a couple states that don't recognize it yet. Hot got me, sorry. I gotta put these Cheetos away, man. They're getting to me tonight. So I'll put those away for now. But wow. You can see my face all red just from eating those little bit of Cheetos. I don't know. I think it was probably brought back the other thing earlier. Whew, that helps. But yeah, I remember when I lived in Arizona, it was like, Arizona was weird too, because we didn't do daylight savings time, and we didn't do Martin Luther King Day. It was like his own little, it was his own little country, I guess. And it was a right to work state, so they didn't have like a minimum wage that was comparable to everybody else's, and it's just all weird. But that was back in what, 88 to 91. I don't know. It might have changed by now. I remember everything there was weird. Because with the DMV and everything was all totally different. You had to go to like 3 different places to do anything with your license plate or your car license. And you had to go to an official state-run smog inspection place. And you couldn't like just go to, like they have a lot of places here where you can go to the smog place, you know, any gas station or whatever that just has a certified, you know, smog inspection place, and then they send in the certificate or whatever. But back then, you had to go to official state-run emissions testing stations, and there were only so many throughout your area. And then after you got that, then you had to go down to the DMV and you had to pay your license. And this was back before Hey, this was back before, internet and all that, you know, online stuff. They didn't have any of that. So, yeah, you had to drive down there. And then you had to go to a different place to get like a driver's license or anything like that. It was all separate departments and they were all spread out. So it wasn't fun. You had to drive everywhere to get all the different parts of, I think one of them was like, the license plate was a different place as the, driver's license renewal and all that stuff. So it was really strange, but yeah, I'm a Mario tonight. I also have my Luigi hat too. I got that a little while ago. So yeah, I do have Luigi and a Mario. Tazzy, I could have put it on Tazzy, but he's not here right now. I don't think you keep it on very long though. But yeah, so I hope you guys have been having a good weekend, getting stuff done. I've just been taking it easy this weekend. Caught up on a lot of movies, caught up on a lot of videos that I got done. Yeah. So, I have a, well, you know what? Hey, you know what? I have this. I don't have a red one, but here we go. I found this one. Hey, Hawkeye, I do have a mushroom hat, believe it or not, somewhere. All right, just for, I'll change out of my Mario hat. This is not red, but okay. All right, check this out. I haven't done this one for a while. All right, there we go. All right. What do you think, guys? Party on the top, business on the top, party in the back. I believe it or not, I had it at one point. I did have long hair. Oh God, about 15 years ago, I grew my hair probably about this long. And I used to keep it back in a ponytail. I don't have any. I don't have any more. Nah. This is my mullet look. Or they call it a redneck or hillbilly or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But it's the mullet wig. I also have I do have a rainbow one. I have a rainbow punk rock wig that sometimes I put on, but this one was, I found this one again. I did actually order one. It'd be a while before it comes in. It's a purple wig. But it'll take a while. It's coming from China. Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, sometimes some of these things take a while. This one, the Mario hat, I ordered it before Christmas. That's how long it took. I've been on the Wish app. They got some funky stuff on there. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Mario. Hey man, it's me and Mario. Mario Ray Cyrus. It's a Mario world. I just need Garth. Mario. Yeah. That's too fun sometimes. Yeah, I guess I can. Oh yeah, the Wario. Was it Wario? Was it Wario and Luigi and I forget the other one. Oh, the Mia Mario. Yeah. But yeah, they got all kinds of different. I've seen all kinds of different wigs and hats, and they even have a it's a like a baseball cap, like a camo baseball cap, and it's got the hair in the back. Comes with the hat. It's detachable. Really? It's a me, Mario. It's a Mario. Hey, come to Mario World. It's a party. Reminds me of that yeah. Remember that commercial for Boboli? It's a Boboli pizza. Just 5 minutes in the oven and you have a hotter series. I don't know I don't know what Wario sounded like, so I don't know. Like evil guy, wasn't he? I don't know. I never really watched the cartoon. I never really watched the Rastaman. Oh, that's a different thing, man. Rastaman. I always thought the Italian was just 5 minutes in the oven. Boboli. Fresh bubbly pizza. 5 minutes in the oven? So yeah. Anyway. That's all the fun stuff. So you guys do anything fun this weekend? Any interesting stuff going on? I got a lot of stuff I gotta catch up on. I recorded some new shows tonight that I'm gonna have to go back and watch. There's a new series that just premiered on HBO. Yeah, I hear you. I don't like them either. I kind of skip over my birthdays. I don't celebrate them anymore. But that's just me. I don't like birthdays anymore. I stopped when I hit 30. Me, it's another day. If anybody sings me happy birthday, I punch them. And they're forbidden from singing to me. So, oh. If they sing to me, I give them 5 of these across their lips. Guys, remember Fred Sanford? Sanford and Son? What was that one? Say Anything? Wasn't that the one? Well, then they also did it on Night at the Roxbury, too. That's a great movie. Night at the Roxbury. Night at the Roxbury is like one of my favorite comedies. At the very end, he did the boombox. And what is love? Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What is love? I broke the window. Oh man, that was like classic. I love that movie, man. The two guys, the two brothers, Doug and Steve Butabi, they were lounge. They were always going to the lounges and trying to pick up chicks. And their dream was to get into the Roxbury. They made it one night. Yeah, that was classic. That was 90s though. Or actually, I think it was like 2000 when that first came out. So that would have been a long time ago. 20 years. Wow. Didn't think about that one. 20 years ago that. Yeah, they did, you know. Most of my favorite ones are from the 80s. Kind of grew up with all the, the teen movies, um, uh, the teen comedies, all that. Ones back from, when we're little, and it was the TNA movies is what they called them. And it was usually the guys trying to get the girls and get laid and, all that stuff. And they usually had a little bit of, adult situations. I remember when it was on Showtime or HBO, it would come on and they'd say, the following movie is rated R because it contains adult situations and nudity. Parental guidance is suggested. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, usually when they do that stuff, yeah, leave it alone. When they do that stuff and they, God, this thing is itching. Um, Whenever they do that, it kind of ruins it because they never come back half as good. When they did all the thing with all the old TV shows from like the 50s and the 60s and they made them into the movies, they totally sucked. When they did like Bewitched, they did yeah, that was like it was like they haven't done a Gilligan's Island yet, but they may. They haven't done a night. They haven't done an I Dream of Jeannie. They haven't done some of those old ones. They did the Brady Bunch. That sucked. I don't know if they. I don't think they did Partridge Family yet, but anytime they take those, classic TV shows and they make them into movies or they redo the series, sucks. I mean, look at Magnum PI. Look at MacGyver. All the other ones that they've kind of redone them. They're not half as good as they used to be. They tried to do Knight Rider a little while ago, and that flopped. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Partridge Family. Where's all the other ones? There's a couple other ones. What else? They redid Leave It to Beaver. They did. Yeah. See, I never got into that. And then they made that one and only lasted like one season. It was, um, that '80s show, and that like lasted like not even a season. So I like the Wonder Years. Back for its time, that was really good. Full House, yeah. But now Full House is not. It's not something you can watch anymore. Same with the Cosby Show. They've kind of, you know, fallen under scrutiny, and they won't put them on anymore. all the controversy, they pull him off. No, there is still one. Todd Bridges is still alive. Believe it or not. Todd Bridges is still alive. Everybody else dead, but Todd Bridges is still alive. Yeah. And interesting trivia fact. Look it up on IMDb or Wikipedia, I guess. The guy that played Mr. Drummond, Conrad Bain, he retired to my hometown, and he died in it was a nursing care right down the street from me. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't watched it. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I haven't watched the next 2 episodes yet. Well, I mean, he was, but he retired to like a nursing home up here, so. Yeah, I've only seen I saw the Spy Fall. That was the only one that I saw so far. And I just recorded a new one, and I'm going to watch it later. It's called Avenue 5. I don't know if you heard about that one. It's a kind of like a Love Boat in space. It's like a comedy. And the guy is like a host of I think it's like a spaceship that's like a cruise ship. Oh, really? I don't know. I have to go back and look at those. I wanted to get, at one point, I wanted to get the one, man, this is, I got like a straight hair. Yeah, I have to see that. The last one that I saw was the one that the Capaldi redid, the blue kind of like wand looking one. And then the other one, she made her own new one, and then I kind of lost track after that one. But I wanted to get the one, I don't know. I thought it was kind of a cop-out when he did the Sonic sunglasses. That was dumb. I mean, it's like, okay, dude. Sorry, I'm gonna have to take this one off because it's itching me big time. Sorry, guys. I have to take that wig off. Itching. Oh yeah. I don't know. I'll have to take a look and see about that. But I wanted to get the one. It was the they have a Dr. Sonic screwdriver remote control that does all kinds of different sounds, and it actually controls your TV too. But it's like $200. I mean, that'd be the cool toy. Yeah, the blue one, and it turns green. That's my favorite one so far. Yeah. Where like he made the new one, and it kind of flipped up in the air and he caught it. That was cool. The other one that was kind of cool was when he it was one of the episodes with him, and I don't remember. I think it was something about the invasion of the Zygons or something like that, where it was like straight out of James Bond. And he flew through the air, and he got into the TARDIS, put his key in, jumped out of the plane. I mean, that was straight up James Bond stuff. Like the TARDIS was going and he got the key and got into the TARDIS. And that was like straight up cool. There were some that of Capaldi's that were kind of like, eh. They were really dark and they were kind of pointless. And there were a couple that were pretty good. And I didn't care for his ending speech all that much. That was like kind of silly. But, whatever. I want to see what they're going to do with the new girl, what her final speech is going to be. We'll see. Come along soon enough. I'm waiting for I think, I don't know, do you don't have do you have the CBS All Access one? That's kind of a new one. They're going to have the new Picard series for Star Trek. I think it's starting now. I think they had the first episode, or they're having the first episode. I don't know. The other thing is, I heard a new one, and I don't know if you're going to get that out there or not. There is a new service coming out, and it's by NBC. And it's going to be one of the, like they got all these other ones, NBC, ABC, CBS. They've got the streaming service. There's going to be a new one called NBC Peacock, and that's going to come out. I guess it's going to carry all their NBC library. It's one of those things where you have to pay so much a month, and then you get access to all their old shows, all their old libraries. Pretty much anything's doing that now. You want to have access to them, you got to pay so much a month. I mean, and if you paid for everything that's out there, $5 to $10 a month for access to it, you bring up a big bill. Especially if you had like cable, or if you had if you had like 5 services at $5 a month, that's $25 just for those. And then if you have cable, or if you have satellite, or if you have whatever package, Netflix package, Hulu, all these other services, that can add up a lot. And I know a lot of people, don't have cable anymore. They have like Roku and Netflix and all that. Yeah. So I mean, that's the other way around it. But yeah, if you pay for everything that's out there, man, paying big bucks for all this stuff, and then you have your cell phone bill, and you have your internet, your cable, all that stuff. Yeah, big bucks for the entertainment package. So yeah, there's more and more. It seems like there's more and more now. Everybody's got a new service. Yeah. What was I was watching something. Oh my God, I was watching some old WWF videos and stuff. The people that had taken from their VHS tapes. Things that they taped off of TV years ago. And also, if you used to have the Betamax and the top loaders, you had to put them in there, and they were like the big giant cassettes. Made a whole lot of noise when you fast forwarded, and yeah, that was those were not one. I don't want to say the good old days, but they were the old days. I was actually watching something on there, and I had one of these. It was the first digital camera that wrote to a floppy disk. I had one. Old Sony Mavica. and you could store the pictures on the floppy disk, and then you read it directly to your computer. Now they don't even have floppy disks anymore. So probably not. And that was like Betamax was kind of like a thing that was here, but some people had it when it was kind of like the first one that came out. I always used to see, yeah, I always used to see the ads for the Betamax and the Beta movies, and it was always in the adult magazines, you know. They were always, you could buy Betamax and you could buy the movies. Then they switched over to VHS and then Laserdisc and all that, but Betamax kind of got left behind. It's kind of one of those ones that never caught on. It's kind of like MySpace. Remember MySpace came out, and then Facebook was out, and everybody abandoned MySpace and went to Facebook. And also the other one, when they had the iPod, and then they had a Microsoft had one called the Zune, and no one took the Zune, that went under, and they went with the iPod. And then there was another one called Divx. It was like a one-time rental. I never got it, but I did see it. And I remember also you used to have, when you had like video games, I had a Nintendo 64, and that you'd have to buy the solution books or the maps or something to individual games. Now you can see it online, but yeah, I had the Nintendo 64, I had the original Xbox, I had Atari, I had a Sega. What was the Sega? Not Genesis, but what was the handheld one? Game Gear. I had the Sega Game Gear. That's what I had, little handheld one. And I had the what was it? Nintendo. I think it was a DS, one that you flipped up. It was like a Game Boy, but it was. No, I never played that one. I remember I played a Nintendo 64. I played that. What was it? Donkey Kong Country. That was like the one that came with it. I played that a lot, and I played a couple other ones. But that was like the big thing. And I had a Commodore 64, all the old games. But I've seen him, but I don't know if I've really watched any of his stuff. There's actually kind of there's one guy out there that if you like old classic video games and stuff, that I watch, and it's kind of neat to watch him. There's a guy called 8-Bit. I think it's called 8-Bit Guy or 8-Bit Reactor Guy or something like that. He restores old like keyboards and computers and things back from like the old 80s. He would repair like a Commodore 64 or game system or an old keyboard. Yeah, I mean, those are always fun to go back and watch some of that stuff. And some of the things that this guy finds or he repairs, I had those. You know, the old equipment, like what was the one I was watching? He was showing how it was for Nintendo 64, it was a koala pad. I don't know. It was like a first little touch tablet, and it had a little pen. He used to draw on it. And all the old scanners, full page scanners they used to have. What was the other ones? Yeah, the big printers and all that stuff. And it's funny to watch all that old yeah, I had a JVC. The first video cassette we had was a JVC top loader. And that was a long time ago. And then you had to tune each station individually. I think it had like 12 stations. and it had a little oh yeah, Nintendo's first flop. Ah, I don't remember if I saw that one. Was it the PlayStation, the first PlayStation, or I don't know, the original one, like the game system, NES. I had the. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember. Then they had all the other ones. That what was the one the Game Glove, Power Glove. That was funny. Watch that one movie that they were talking about the Power Glove. It's so rad. Then they had what was a Virtual Boy. Hey Antonio G, how's it going? I know it did, but it was like the big thing back when that movie came out. The Wizard with Fred Savage. It was all about the Power Glove. It was like this wonderful thing, and it was like sucked. And then they had Virtual Boy, and yeah, it was just a big commercial for the Power Glove, and it was like, yeah, right. It was a big flop. They had a bunch of other. Sega seemed to have all the systems that they had were flops. Like what Sega Genesis, Sega Game Gear, what was the other one? Jaguar, Saturn. They all they all sucked. Yeah, Mario 3, and then they had Paper Mario and Mario Party. But yeah, the Mario Brothers 3, that was in that movie. Mario Brothers, brand new game. Mario Brothers 3. Super Mario Brothers 3. It was like big deal. No one won. Yeah. Well, it was kind of the first one that really did change it. It was like a whole new revolution, I guess. I don't know. But I was watching some of the old damn this. What was the one I was watching the old top art Atari games. What was like all the top Atari games? Yeah. 3D, that, yeah, I remember 3D was kind of like the new thing. You know, when it was funny when the Nintendo 64, hi Tassie, when the Nintendo 64 first came out, everybody was like, man, these graphics are amazing. It's all 3D, Donkey Kong and all these other ones you can move around in circles, and it's all 3D, and everybody was like, man, this is great. Yeah, Tassie's over here. Okay. He's just coming up and saying hi. Be good, don't no biting. But that was like, yeah, that was like the big thing back then. Cutting edge of technology, and then they kind of. I remember watching these old ones with the old gaming systems that never caught on. One of them was, I believe it was Odyssey. I think it was Odyssey. One of them had it was a game system you put on your TV, and you had to put plastic sheets up over the television screen to play the game. I think that was Odyssey. And then there was ColecoVision and boy, a bunch of other ones. Yeah, ColecoVision, Odyssey, Intellivision, that was the other one. Remember that was like the weird one. The controller sucked. Yeah, and then they also used to have the little handheld, yeah, the little handheld ones. I remember for a long time my mom used to like those little LCD slot machine games. And then they had the fishing games where the thing would actually vibrate. Slot machines and the little LCD slot machines. Um, I had one long time ago. It was I think it might have been a Tiger one. It was the Dungeons and Dragons little LCD game. And then they had, yeah, I remember that. It was like, and then everybody had yeah, they were little slot machine games and, all different ones like, I think it was like Donkey Kong. They were little handheld games. They weren't like a Game Boy or anything like cartridge up there. And then the electronic football game. That was like, I wanted that one year for Christmas. I finally got it. Coleco football game. It was just the little blips, and you know, blip, 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 go make a touchdown. And I think they had a baseball game too. And then they had um, oh yeah, I remember that. You know what? I have it somewhere. My sister had one. She got the Tamagotchi. She gave it to me, but it needs a new battery. The little keychain Tamagotchi things. To feed the little animal and do all that stuff. And I wanna see if I have it somewhere. I used to have it. It was the was a Merlin. It was like a little handheld. It was like a big red, looked like a phone. It was like little buttons, and you played tic tac toe. And then they had like Simon and um, all the other electronic games. But that was when I had it. Yeah, it was Merlin, Simon. Then they had some of those ones, the little robot 8-track player, 2XL, I believe it was, and Teddy Ruxpin, and all the ones with the cartridges or the tapes. They play the 8-track, play little games with them. All it was an 8-track player, but it was like interactive. And the one the 2XL was like a little quiz, and then you had buttons, you pressed it. And then they had speak and spell, and hey, just 88, how's it going? Man, this is hi Tazzy. Getting your fur on me. Yeah, Teddy Ruxpin, 2XL. I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, I was having some flaming hot Cheetos earlier, and I kind of had to calm them down. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Been a little while. I know you guys have been busy, and everybody's been busy. Okay, now that I kind of cooled down. I'm going to try something a little different, guys. We will see what happens on this one. This is bugging itching me. I'm going to try something a little different. Stay there. Yeah, I got a Luigi hat too. Got the Mario. I just got the Mario. I've had the Luigi. I've been kind of talking about video games, old video games, but yeah, I have my Luigi hat too. This one's a little this one's a little bigger. I guess I don't know. I got my Luigi hat. So hang on a second, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna try something different. Okay, guys, so I was telling people about this earlier, and I'm deciding I'm going to try this again. Okay, back at Christmas time, they had cinnamon Coca-Cola, and then they had the cranberry spiced Sprite. It was only out for Christmas time. And that's actually pretty good. And what I did was I did this before, and I'm going to do it again. I have, well, this, you can have regular Coca-Cola, but this one's called zero sugar, no caffeine Coca-Cola. So there's no sugar in it. But what? Just wait. Okay. And you can do this. I'm sure people have these. You've seen them in the store. I have a Jolly Rancher cinnamon. You could do it with Red Hots too if you wanted, I guess. Because now Red Hots are, well, they're out all the time, but they're out for Valentine's Day. But I have a Jolly Rancher cinnamon, and I put it in with my Coke. Because all it is just cinnamon and sugar. And then let that melt in there, and then I got cinnamon Coke. So, I mean, you can make your own. It's probably good if it's zero sugar, because otherwise, when that cinnamon candy melts in there, it's all the sugar in there. But yeah, this is, yeah, it's just, these are a little, they come in a bag. Actually, I have one here. I have to do a review on it. I still have to do this one. I got to it, but these are the new, this is a new one. And some of these flavors I don't remember. But here, Jolly Rancher hard candy, and this has got different, see, this is how they come now in the bags. This one's got lemon, mountain berry, strawberry, pineapple, and orange. And you can get the ones that are just cinnamon, or you can get the ones that are the regular Jolly Rancher. It's like a mix of, I think, like cherry, peach, I don't know, all the other regular flavors that they have. Lemon, I think it's like lemon, lime, orange. I think they actually started putting blue raspberry in there now. They used to come in individual packs, or they used to come in like a little stick candy, like a flat stick candy. But yeah, I went ahead and put that in there. And that little cinnamon piece will sit there, dissolve. Then you'll have your cinnamon Coke. The other thing is you can do is get like Coke or get Pepsi or whatever, and put one of these other ones in it. You could put in, yeah, strawberry, pineapple, orange. Make your own mix of soda. I mean, that's a different, I mean, that's what they do in, if you go to like Wendy's, or I think some of the other places have them, where it's that freestyle machine, and you can mix all the different flavors into the soda. You can have like cherry Coke, strawberry Coke, orange, lime, raspberry, all the different ones, and you just mix it in with the, you know, or you could have like Sprite, or like vanilla root beer and mellow yellow and all those different products, and you mix them with all the different flavors. That's all they do, is just put that flavored syrup in there along with it. I mean, they have it at some place. They have it at, I think some of them you can get at, there for a while they had it at 7-Eleven. And yeah, some of the other places, they have machines like Jack in the Box, Wendy's. Sometimes you can get them at the grocery stores. They have them if you get the fountain. Sonic, I know Sonic does all the different things you can mix in to all the different drinks. So all it is flavored syrup. So yeah, you can make your own flavor. Or you can get like the, if you really wanted to, you can get like the snow cone, the flavored snow cone flavors. You got the little syrups for if you have a shave ice or I guess like a snow cone machine. They get the flavored syrups for those. Same thing. Also, they have the ones for like coffee, the coffee flavored syrups like hazelnut and um, what's the other ones? Yeah, vanilla, toffee, all those different things. Those kind of flavors. I've seen a lot of those other ones like syrups, watermelon. Got a lot of those different ones. So yeah, I mean, you can do pretty much anything you want. But yeah, it's a little different. Or like some people, I remember when I was a little kid, I used to mix sodas together. You'd mix like root beer and Sprite, or root beer and Mountain Dew, or the people would go like if you go to like Burger King or something, and you'd go and you just get one of every flavor. And they call it swamp water sometimes. You know, Sprite, root beer, Coke, 7 Up, orange, all the different flavors all in one. Kids used to do that all the time. Sometimes if I'll go to McDonald's, I'll have like orange and Sprite together. Those aren't too bad. I just remember doing that when I was a little kid. Oh yeah, wow. I could taste that cinnamon in there, man. Dissolving in there already. Wow. Pretty strong. Just one piece. Different. Does taste like just like the old yeah, it's got a little bit of fire to that one. Kind of reminds me of that cinnamon Coke that I had. That's different. You want to spice it up, add a cinnamon or a red hot or yeah, cinnamon. Remember, I used to have cinnamon toothpicks when I was little. Used to buy them at like the store. They came in a little pack. They were cinnamon toothpicks to dip them in cinnamon oil. And I think they even had another one. I think it was wintergreen. I think that was the other one too. Only trouble was is after a while they stopped selling those cinnamon toothpicks, because what they would do was they dipped them in cinnamon oil and it was like really strong. And what people would do is they'd put them in the corner of their mouth, and that cinnamon oil would like burn the corner of their mouth. Then they get like a sore there because they kept the toothpick in there, all that cinnamon oil. You know, they didn't think about all that stuff. Man, look at me. But yeah, that's like what we used to do that stuff when we were kids all the time. Or mix flavors, mix things like that. Kool-Aid, that was another one. Used to mix the Kool-Aid flavors. Remember that? Have like cherry and grape, or orange and cherry, stuff like that. Sometimes you'd run out of one and mix it with the other. I can't even remember some of them. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, that was like the fun thing when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to this one. This one's, I like the Mario one better, I think. Not as big. This one fits a little better. The Mario is a little bit bigger. I don't know why. I like this one. I like this one better. So yeah, so Mario. Yeah, kids used to do that all the time. You'd mix flavors, you'd mix candies, you'd mix all that stuff. I used to do that also when I did when I dyed Easter eggs, and you do the colors and then you mix all the different colors, and then usually I had one that was like one ugly egg and it had all the colors. Yes, he does. Yeah, Mario. Actually, I'm going to be getting another cover for my pillow soon. I've got it on order. Oh, bad. That figures. Sorry about that. It's a me, Mario. I don't know if it is or not, but I got a Mario today. I was eating the flaming hot Cheetos earlier and got a little too hot on the side to stop them. But I'm also oh man, it's bugging me on my nose. He likes the flags. Yes, he does. He likes the flag. You like the Jews? Actually, what I did was you didn't see it, but I have this is Coke Zero, and if you look here, I put a piece of Jolly Rancher cinnamon in there. So it's now cinnamon Coke. And I can taste it. So yeah, if you have the Jolly Rancher cinnamon candy, oh, the Neo Geo. Now, I never had, I was talking about it earlier, how I had the Nintendo 64, I had Atari 2600, I had a Commodore 64, I had the Sega Game Gear, the handheld one. And we were talking about the little handheld ones. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of remember that. And it was like a multi game cabinet that had like a bunch of different ones. I know the arcade one was, but I think the home thing was, yeah, it was a little different. But I had all those old ones. I used to play that. And then the handheld little video games, they were like the LCD was like the slot machine game, the fishing games. I had that one, the electronic football game, and the Merlin, and I think I had a Simon one time. But all those old handheld games that they don't have much anymore. Yeah, I know. That was kind of the that was kind of the ultimate back in the day. I mean, but then I was saying like the systems that they had that kind of flopped, like the Sega Saturn, the Sega Dreamcast, the Jaguar, um, Genesis. They all were ahead of their time. They all kind of flopped. I remember that was like Dreamcast was like supposed to be really good, but it did flop after a while. They just didn't have the support for it anymore. And they stopped making games and kind of went away. But I remember those were like the big thing. Yikes. Yeah, that's a lot. I remember what was I was seeing something about, I believe it was the original Apple. The Apple computer was $666 back in 19, was it like 82 or something like that, whatever. Whenever it first came out, it was $666 for the original Apple. And that was a lot back then for a home computer system. was what the funny part was. But yeah, I imagine that. And my one friend, wow. Yeah, my one friend, he actually bought, hey, Snack King. He actually bought a he bought a cabinet game for his home. He bought a Mrs. Pac-Man full cabinet game. I don't know. He had something that he liked the Mrs. Pac-Man, so he bought the whole cabinet game. Somehow he got a hold of it. I don't know. I don't remember how much he paid for it. But he had the full blown Mrs. Pac-Man. Not the tabletop game, not the combo game or whatever. He had the whole Mrs. Pac-Man. So yeah, people like to buy them. And I was watching some of these channels on YouTube. They show how they repair the old game systems, Joust and Paperboy and all those old games. They're still around, and some people, have them. They used to have them at like the Pizza Parlor or 7-Eleven and all that, but it's kind of cool to watch them restore these old ones. Yeah, Pac-Man was cool. Let's see, what's my favorite? My favorite one was Gauntlet. I think that was my favorite game. Gauntlet or Gauntlet 2. Those were fun. Used to play those all the time. Um, but I liked all the other ones. I wasn't so much with Pac-Man or um, Defender. What's the other one? Galaga. That was cool. I mean, Space Invaders, Missile Command. Hmm. I don't remember that one too much, but I do remember all the old games used to play for hours in the arcade. Battle Zone, all the old original ones like Asteroids, Missile Command, um, was it Street Fighter? Yeah, they had a lot of those. Mortal Kombat, um, the Street Fighter, Shinobi. That was another one we used to play all the time. Golden Axe, Zaxxon, Galaga, Galaxian, Tempest. That was a cool one. Um, Golden Axe. That was a neat one. Punch Out. I remember that. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. What else? Oh boy. Marble Madness. Tekken 3. Yeah, I remember that. Tekken 3, and then what was it Robotron 2042? I think it was called. And then I like the other one, Burger Time and um, Kangaroo, Mappy, Dig Dug. Wow. Cruising USA, yeah. Pole Position. What's the other one? Oh, Iron. It was an Iron Man truck one. It had a little turbo, and you get the wrenches. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it, but I used to play that all the time. Pole Position. Yeah, Pole Position. Yeah, pole. Spy Hunter. Wow. Marble Madness. Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Subway. What's the other one? Well, of course, then all the Mario, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, all those old ones. Trying to think the other ones. A lot of adventure games. Total Carnage. That one was uh, That one was good. Yeah, I know. Total Carnage, and it was like a TV show, and you used to have to blast everything. Zaxxon, Xevious. Wow. Yeah, I knew it. Eh, whatever. Some people like to play around. I don't play that, so anyways. But I used to play all those old games. Trying to remember some of the other ones. Some I like that one. It was called Frontline. It was a tank game. The only trouble with that one, the controls were awful. You had like a joystick, and then you had the little round thing, and you had to turn the gun around. Was it Battlezone? I remember the old Star Trek game. Yeah. Well, usually when they have things like that, I don't, you know, when they want to make rude comments like that, I don't need that here. So don't even deal with it. I remember the old Star Trek game. That was cool. It had like a cabinet that you would sit in. And I think that was the same thing with Cruise in USA. You could play the different radio games and you sat in the car. Yeah. All those racing games. They had the pedal and all that stuff. Pole position. Yeah. And they had the cabinet medals. Tron, that was another one that was good. The Tron, where you stood up in there and you played all the different Tron games. Light Cycle. And then they had some of the other ones. Wow. Battlezone. Okay, thanks, Just88. Have a good one. Get some rest. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was really? Yeah, somebody who was it? I don't know if you follow Infinite Moi. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They've been on here a couple times. They went to the biggest arcade, and I think, but it's more somewhere to the east. I don't know exactly where they drove to. They went to the one and it had like the biggest. It was like the most arcade games. They went down the line. There was all kinds of all the old video games. Yeah, that would be cool. They used to have a place here when I was little, and it was called, I want to say it was called Video Ranch. This would have been back in like the 80s, probably like 82 or 80, whenever the big video game craze was. On Saturdays, you can go in there, and I think you paid $5, and you got to play unlimited games. And every game was unlimited, but the only trouble was there was like so many people in there and not very many games, and you had to wait for a game. And then you got stuck on one game, and you keep having to play it. I remember that was the one I played, Satan's Hollow. That one was kind of cool. And what was the other one? A Sinistar, little animated dude. Space Fury, which was kind of like Asteroids. Warlords. And then they had Breakout, Stunt Cycle. Wow, what else? The other ones. They actually had Pong. arcade game. I think one was called Evil Knievel or Stunt Cycle. Then there was the one where you shot the guy out of the cannon. Skateboard. What was that skateboard one? I think it was called 720. Had the skateboarder guy. Had the boombox on the top. Yeah, you check this one out. You would have liked this one. When I was what was that? I was probably like 6th grade. We had like I think it was like a math team or a trivia team or something. Anyways, my team won the competition or whatever, and so as a prize, the teacher took my team out to lunch at, I believe it was Straw Hat Pizza, and we got to have pizza for the day and play video games for lunchtime. And this was off campus from school. The teacher took us over to the pizza arcade. We had pizza for lunch, and we got to play video games all day. This would have been back like 81, 82, something like that. But yeah, pizza for lunch and video games. Can't do that now. Teachers can't take students off campus. Yeah. Chuck E. Cheese, it was the place you used to play the games. And then they also had another one called Showbiz Pizza. I don't know if you ever had that one over there. It was like a ripoff of Chuck E. Cheese. Instead of, I think it was Chuck E. Cheese, and the Showbiz Pizza was a different, it wasn't a rat, it was something else. Different character. Look it up, the Showbiz. They had all the puppets and all that little show. They were all different. It was basically a ripoff of it. Yeah, well, that was the thing back in the. Then they had Then they had some places over here when I was little, and it was laser tag, and you could have like a pizza party and laser tag. I don't know that they still do that. Sign up to play laser tag. Yeah. I used to go to the arcades. Yeah, I don't know if they still do or not. Some places might have laser tag, but it wasn't like it used to be. And we had the one place, I wish they still had this. This was probably 20 years ago, at least. More than 20, probably like 30 years ago. There was a place somewhere near here. It was called Virtual World. And it was the state-of-the-art virtual, like, gaming. And what you did was you got in your team and you went into the gaming pods, and it was like you sat in the gaming pod and then you played the game, and they were all hooked together to one system, and you played against each other. And it was one was a race game, and you had like these mining cars, and you could shoot bullets at each other. And then the other one was the what was a mechanoid, the robot ones. You had all the different robot cars, and you got to choose what vehicle you had or what kind of robot you had with the different strengths. You know, some were like fast, some were heavy armored. And it would play, you would play the game in your pod, and everybody else was like in an